All right, good day, yogis. This is Stephen Chang coming to you live from Simha Yoga Lab in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule, as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. Venmo is my preferred way of payment, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab, and the 4-digit ID code is 8096 if you're prompted for it. Costs are $10 if you're having a difficult time. $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. I'm streaming on Instagram and on Facebook, and the videos are uploaded to my YouTube channel, Simha Yoga Lab. Please visit any of those platforms for your practice. If you're thinking about coming to in-studio classes, I'm open at 25% capacity. But please go to my website, look for the text in pink for the instructions. There is a waiver that you need to download and e-sign. Once you e-sign, you can save it. Alternatively, you can print it out, actually sign it, put your telephone number and put a signature on it, and at that point, you can scan it, you can photograph it, and then when you send me your email for pre-registration for class, attach that waiver to your email. That will serve as your authorization to come in with a waiver. And then also, please make sure that you attach that waiver every time you pre-register as reauthorization. That email that you send for pre-registration is also acting as contact tracing. So it's important to do that every time. Okay, so today's class is basics. It is a level 1 practice. For those of you with tight hips, please elevate and sit up on a block or a blanket. Now, if you're newer to my practice, welcome. Make sure if you're working with any kind of injuries, limitations, or special conditions, please be mindful to pull back on poses that are not appropriate for you today. Always make some good decisions about what you should and shouldn't do. Okay, palms face up. And with your fingers in Jnana Mudra, thumb and index fingers touching. Ground evenly through your seat. Allow your shoulders to broaden. And as you connect to your breath, let your inhales even out with your exhales. Three arms together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer in front of the heart, pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs, lifting the heart up towards the sky, setting your intention for yoga practice, devoting your practice to someone or something, or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Mantra of purification, purifying the space in which you practice yoga. Call and response. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrawa, Pavitrawa, Sarva Vushtan, Sarva Vushtan, Tato Piva, Yaha Smarit, Yaha Smarit, Pudrikaksham, Pudrikaksham, Sapahya, Sapahya, Pihyandraha, Pihyandraha, Suchihi, Suchihi. Beginning to open the eyes, palms face up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side. Take the chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center, drop the right hand. Left ear to the left shoulder, left hand to the right side. And chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center, drop the left hand, chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction. Ear to one side, roll it back, opposite side, roll the center. A few more rounds. Take the chin back to center and pause. Opposite direction. And back to center again. Lift the chin parallel to the floor and neutral spine, coming off your blocks. And extend the legs forward, separating your feet. Hand support to either side and turn your toes toward each other. And then roll out. Draw in. Roll out. Draw in. Outer rotation, circling. Back to center. Switch them around. Back to center again. Cross your shins, opposite shin on top. Take the arms up high, extend, twist to the right. Back to center, arms up. Other side. Center again, side bend. So right hand down, left arm overhead. Back to center, other side. Center again, legs forward, forward, forward. Take it back up. Draw the left heel in, right heel back, creating a letter S with your legs. Walk your hands over to the left side. Inhale, lengthen. On the exhale, twist and bow forward about halfway. Stopping at the halfway point, inhale again. Exhale, twist deeper, bow forward a little bit more. Inhale, take it back up, keep the legs as they are, counter twist to the right. Inhale back to center, left hand to support, right arm parallel to floor, elbows bent, fingers are soft. Inhale, draw the right arm back. Exhale, twist your left. Draw the right arm back. Twist your left. Draw back. Twist. And stay here twisting. Now engage the right arm and extend the right arm out. Reach and then twist a little bit deeper. Square back to center. Ground the left palm firmly to the floor. Right arm up. This time, side bend to your left. Take it back to vertical. Side bend to the left. Take it back to vertical. Side bend left. Stay extending, side bending, reaching. Take back up. Again, counter twist. Take it back to center. Support with your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Start to draw forward, maybe about halfway or to the best of your abilities. Now make sure that you're not rounding the spine or shortening the shoulders, that you are working with lengthiness and neutral spine. If you have a little bit more, fold forward a little bit more. Now, as you fold forward, right, you're going to feel the extension of the lower back. Right? Make sure that you're keeping neutral spine again, right? If you have a little bit more, go even deeper. Now, you can, of course, support with your hands by walking hands out, right? So the further you go forward, the more you're probably going to need your hands to support. All right? Walk it back in. Pick up the right knee, step the right foot down. Move the right heel slightly further away and pivot to the heel. And again, support with hands to either side of your left leg. Make sure that the right arm is not in the way of your right knee, right? So you want to get that arm away from the knee. You're going to roll the leg forward and back. Roll the right knee forward, roll the right knee back. Roll forward, roll back. Roll forward, roll back. Keep rolling back. Keep the right foot flexed and the toes are pointing back. You can ground the left palm and gently encourage your right thigh to work away from you. Release. Take the left feet down and draw the right heel forward. You might need to center your seat a little bit if you feel uneven. You want to ground evenly through your seat. Flex your right foot. Pick up the right heel, supporting from the outside of the ankle. Sitting up tall. Lift and lower. lift, lower, lift, lower. Lift again. Draw the right knee back, draw the right heel forward. Draw the right knee back, draw the right heel forward. One more. Draw back, draw forward. Cross your shins, raise your arms up, exhale, forward fold. Now this time, if you want to round your back a little bit, go ahead. If you can get the forearms down, go ahead and do that as well, and just release your head. Just let the entire back of the spine release and open up. And with your hands supporting, lift the elbows up, walk it back in, and then let's switch directions. Right heel stays in, left heel comes back. So this time it is a reverse lateral. Okay? Walk your hands over to the right side, supporting with the fingers. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to twist, and then bow forward about halfway. Stopping at the halfway point, inhale again. Exhale, twist deeper, bow forward a little bit more. Inhale, take it all the way back up. Keep the legs as they are. Counter twist to your left. Square back to center. Right hand to support. Left arm parallel to floor. Elbows soft, fingers are soft. Draw the left elbow back and twist to the right. Draw the left elbow back, twist to the right. Draw the left elbow back. Twist to the right, stay twisting, and then extend the left arm out fully, reach your left fingertips, and then twist deeper. All right, so lead with your left fingertips reaching out to help you twist deeper. All right, square back to center. Ground the right palm out to side, raise your left arm up, and then side bend to the right. Back up, side bend right, back up. Side bend right, stay side bending. Reach your left fingertips, longer left side. Release, come back up, support with your hands. Draw the left knee up and step the foot down, move the left heel slightly forward and pivot to the heel. So again, get this left arm away from that left leg, so that means you're probably framing your right leg. Roll the left knee forward, roll the left knee back. Roll the left knee forward, roll the left knee back. Roll forward, roll back. Staying there. Ground the back heel, the right hand. Press your left thigh away. And release. I forgot one thing. Let's draw the left heel back again. We have to come forward, right? So with your hands framing either side of the right leg, lengthen. Keep that lengthiness, right? So start always with a vertical line. That's how you can check how you're placing your neck, right? You want this straight line. And with this straight line, as you tip forward, the entire body and the gaze also changes, right? So you're beginning to look slightly forward and downwards as you keep your spine in neutral position and leaning forward about halfway. Keep supporting with your hands. Now, if you want to lean forward a little bit more and you're able to keep that lengthy spine, go ahead. If you want to go even more, now as you go further forward, you might need to adjust your hands to reach forward instead. Walk your hands back, lift back up. Okay? So you're going to lift the left knee back up, draw the left heel forward, and center your seat, right? You need to feel even and stable. Pick up the left foot, support from the outside of the left ankle. Make sure you also flex your left foot, right? Protecting the ankle and the knee by engaging the muscles around the ankles. Now, sitting up tall, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Lift. And lower, lift, lower. Lift again. Draw the left knee back, extend it forward. Left knee back, extend forward. Left knee back, extend forward. Cross your shins. Raise arms up high, extend, Exhale, take it forward. Let the hands come down for support. And again, think about the lengthiness as you draw forward and round your back. Once you are, if you're able to draw forearms down, fantastic, and then round the spine. Begin to lift the elbows, walk it back in. Extend the legs forward. Separate your feet, maybe about 2 fist distance, right? And flex your feet. Hands to either side, grounding your palms, pressing your palms down, sitting up tall, shoulders drawn back, gaze straight forward, neutral spine. All right, so this is your Tadasana, staff pose. All right, release, keep the left leg extended. Take the sole of the right foot to the inner left leg. Now, for those of you who have several things, right? If your hips are really tight and it's not comfortable for you at all to sit down like this, you have 2 options, right? You can sit on your blanket, or if you have a block, you can sit on the block. Now, elevation really helps with the lower back. I'll give you a side view here. What happens is a lot of the time, when you have a tight lower back or tight hamstring, when you sit up tall like this, it's difficult for you to sit up tall because as soon as you try to do this, there's a lot of tension. So you end up rounding and leaning back, right? So how do you mitigate that, right? Because if I then ask you to sit up tall, it's so difficult. You might even have to lean back, so that's not very balanced, right? So the way to deal with that is elevation. By lifting your seat, it's going to be easier for your body to lean forward so that you can maintain a lengthier spine, right? So you might want to check that out. Or if you don't have a block and you have a blanket, you can elevate by sitting on your blanket like this. Okay? Left hand down, right arm up. Keep the lengthiness of the spine and start to move forward, grabbing the ends of the left foot or ankles or shins, whatever you can hold on to. Now make sure that anytime you're taking any kind of forward fold, whether you're sitting or standing, you need to maintain a neutral spine and go as far forward as you can maintain that spine. As soon as you round, you need to stop, come back. This, in a lengthier spine, the higher, gives you a much more effective lower back stretch, right? Because as soon as you round, you lose all of that. You're not getting enough tension, which means you're not really lengthening and getting flexibility. So you want to lengthen and only going as far forward as you can maintain that lengthiness. Right? So that could be a little lower, that could be a little higher. It really all depends on where you are. Begin to release. Keep the legs as they are. Counter twist to the right. Back to center and twist to your left. Back to center again. Switch legs. Right leg forward. So the left foot, inner right thigh. So again, if you need elevation so that you can maintain that lengthiness, go ahead and take it. Second issue that many people have is rotation of the hips. When you take this position, the knee cannot come down, and it's dangling in space, right? So it kind of feels very unsupported, like you really want to press something down. So if that's the case, again, if you have a block that you're not using or a second block, right, wedge it in. Or if you have a blanket, wedge it in. That way, when you press down, you're engaging the leg. By engaging the leg and pushing down and getting that support, you're also promoting rotation, which is eventually going to give you better flexibility. Okay? Right hand down, left arm up. Again, elongate on the inhale. Exhale, slightly rotate to the right, so you're lining up your torso over the right leg. Come forward with a straighter spine, as far as you can go. Then once you hit your max and you feel like you're beginning to round, and you have to stop, and then move your left arm, left shoulder to grab your foot, your ankles, or your shin. Whatever you can hold on to. Then on the inhale, re-lengthen, because chances are you've already rounded. And then with that lengthiness, try to think hinging at the hips and leaning forward with a straighter spine. Inhale, take it back up. Exhale, counter twist to your left. Back to center again, and then twisting to the right. Back to center. Extend both legs forward. Move your torso back, lower onto your forearms. Your forearms, your elbows alongside the ribs. Now, rather than sinking down, I want you to engage your legs, press down, press into your forearms and elbows, and lift the chest. Broaden your shoulders. So when you broaden your shoulders, you're lifting the chest, and you're also pulling the shoulders back, and then maybe feeling like your shoulder blades are kissing toward each other. So when your shoulder blades are kissing toward each other, they're engaged, it's much more supportive. And with that support, you might be able to lift your chest a little bit more. Now, if your neck is strong and healthy, and you feel confident about dropping the head back and be okay with that, go ahead. All right, this is your supported fish pose. Lift the head again. Move your hands out of the way, move your elbows out of the way to lower onto your back. Draw the right knee in. Grab the back of the right leg with your hands, extend the right heel up toward the sky, flexing your right foot strongly. So reaching through that heel engages your leg. Then start to walk your hands up the right leg, and then lift the head and the upper back away from the floor. Now, when you lift your head and the upper back, try not to draw the chin toward the chest and look forward. This overstretches the back of the neck. Instead, I want you to lean the head slightly back and think a neutral spine. All right? Looking straight up or at a slight angle. Now, if your neck is beginning to feel some strain, you can release your leg, use your hands to back of the neck, elbows up, and then lift the weight of the head with your hands. But keep the right foot flexed and reaching upwards. Now, if you still now need support to the right leg, then keep your left hand to the back of the neck, right hand to the right leg, and supporting both to hold this pose. Now, think about your heart center lifting up away from the floor, and that will activate your upper back. Gently release your head, bend your right knee, hug the right knee in toward the chest. This should give you a nice stretch into your lower back and going into the hip opening. And then keep the right hand to the right knee and keep the knee bent. Left arm out to a T and open up the knee to the right side. Now try to keep the left seat, left hip as close to the floor as possible. You might even want to take your left hand to the left hip and pressing down. And keep pressing the inner right knee toward the floor as well. So you should feel a nice amount of broadness into the front of the pelvis. And take it back to center, switch arms, right arm out to a T, and then gently twist your left. Now you're rolling to outer left leg, outer left hip, but keep the right arm, right shoulder blades flat on the floor. And square back to center, hug that right knee in again. All right, we're going to try to take leg cradle here in a reclining position. So with your hands, grab the right heel again from the bottom of the heel and the outside of the foot. All right, then you're going to start to lift the head and the upper back. Try to then take the arms into the right shin and hook the arms into the right shin. All right, you can lift the upper back as much as you need. Now, once you have the shin, let the upper back of the head get heavy and take that right leg with you. as you work toward the floor. Now, if your head or your upper back does not touch down, that's okay. Keep it lifted, but use the weight of your torso with your arms hooking up against your right leg to get into the right hip joint. All right, so as you hook the arms into the leg and you're pulling down, that's going into the right hip joint. All right, so this is a reclining leg cradle. All right, start to release your arms, release your leg, and then step the right foot down, step the left foot down with your fingertips. Feel for the back of the heels. Walk the heels in. The feet should be hips width distance as well. Just take bridge. Press your palms and the arms to your floor. Lift the seat up into a supported back bend here. So you're pressing into your heels, your outer arms, your shoulders, shoulder blades, back of the head. So this should be a nice and accessible back bend. All right, take the feet back down, extend the right leg out, draw the left knee in this time. Hug the left knee strongly in. All right, and then grab the back of the left leg and extend the left heel up toward the sky and flex your foot the best you can. So using the arms to pull against your left leg to draw the left leg in. But as you reach your left heel up toward the sky, push the leg away with your thigh. All right, start to walk your hands up the left leg and lift the upper back, lift the back of the head. Now, you're not rounding the back of the neck and looking forward, right? This overstretches your neck. Lean the head back slightly. Think a neutral spine, right? And you want to lift the upper back away from the floor, activating your core. Now, if you don't need your hands to your leg, but you need the hands to the back of the neck to help you support the weight of your head, then take the hands to the back of the neck, elbows up. Right, so again, same neutral spine with your neck. Now, if now your left leg is beginning to need some help, then keep the right hand to the back of the neck, left hand to the left calf, and using that as support. Keep lifting actively through the upper back, lifting away from the floor, or your sternum lifting up towards the sky. Avoid rounding the back of the neck. And begin to release, lower back down, hug the left knee back in. Take the right arm out to a T, left hand to the inner left knee, and open up the leg to the left side. Now, if the right hip and the right glutes are beginning to work away from the floor, then you can use your right hand to press against your right hip. This gives you a very nice sense of openness to the front of the hip. All right, let's twist. Draw the left knee up, left arm out to a T, and twist to the right. Recline twisting. Roll into outer right leg. Keep your left shoulder blades flat on the floor to anchor down. And take it back to center again. Hug both knees in. And then let's take happy baby. Thread the arms to the inner knees to grab the outer feet. Let the feet flex and the legs active, pressing the heels upwards. But the arms are also pulling the feet down. There's an active happy baby here. Try to get the lower back towards the floor as well, and the upper back at the back of the head. And release. Feet come down again, and let's take bridge again. Press your heels down, lift the feet. This time, if you want to go deeper, you can walk your hands underneath you, walk your shoulders in, standing on top of the shoulders as you lift the hips. Release your hands, lower the feet down. Again, hug the knees in. Roll over to the right side, roll up. Swing the legs back behind you, and make your way to down dog. And start to pedal out the legs. All right, come back to stillness. Inhale, raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the right foot forward, back heel comes down, warrior one. Keep the left arm reaching up, right hand reaching down, and side bend to the right. Take it back to center, switch arms, right arm up, left hand down, side bend to your left. Back to center, arms alongside, lean the torso forward. Again, try to keep that lengthy spine, right? So anytime you're leaning forward, this is the forward fold, right? Because the leg is in front of you. This is the forward fold. Try not to round. Keep that lengthiness. That means you have to come up a little higher because you have a weakened back, right? And it's very difficult for you to keep this lengthiness to your spine, and that's okay, right? So oftentimes we over round our backs anyway with that posture. These are the poses that help strengthen the back, the mid-back, in particular, and the upper back, right? And that will give us this broadness, right? If you have a little bit more leaning forward, then keep it there. 2 more breaths. Right? So your quads should start to fire up like crazy right now, right? All right, take it back up to vertical, arms up, and then open up for warrior two. Lengthen out the right leg. So that should feel you should feel a really nice release here. Triangle first. Tip the left hip back, right hand forward. Take the right hand to top the shin, left arm up. Now, if you have tight hamstrings, this is the way you want to stay. However, if you have a little bit more in you, but you still need the support of the hand to the shin, take it a little bit lower. However, if you have the full expression of the pose, right hand come all the way down, then take it to triangle here. Inhale, take it all the way back up. Reverse your triangle. And then bend the front knee, hands to the floor. Right foot stepping back and lower all the way down to the belly. Sphinx pose. Walk your hands forward. Lower your forearms down. Grab opposite elbows. That's how you measure out your shoulders width. Then take the forearms back down to the floor, pressing the belly and your lower ribs down to lengthen your lower back. Then press your forearms and your hands down to lift your chest in opposition. So belly and ribs pressing down, chest lifting up gives you that mid-back bend. Now, as you work into this stretch, I want you to think very internally. Feel your sacrum. The sacrum is this flattened, very small stretch of your lower spine, right? So it's like the last few vertebrae are fused together, right? And it's just this little platform right above the buttocks, right? So I want you to think about reaching your sacrum toward the floor and flattening it toward the floor, right? So it feels like your pubis is also pressing firmly into the floor. And with that sensation, you should feel a lengthiness that happens through the lower part of the spine, the very lowest part of the spine. Right? So when I do this, I feel like there's a full release of all the tension and tightness to my lower back, right? So the lowest part of my lower back. And as I press my belly, right, belly button and lower ribs toward the floor, my lumbar spine feels like it's lengthening as well. All right, so to come out of this, right, move the elbows outwardly, so that flattens your upper back, upper torso toward the floor. Walk your hands in, and now very gently, child's pose. Right? So we were in that Sphinx pose for a while, so it's really important for us to take our time to transition into this forward fold of child's pose. Right? So in Sphinx pose, we were in the back bend for a while. And again, feel for your feet working toward the heels to flatten the lower back, and feel openness toward the sacrum. And rise back up. Let's sit on your shin, sitting on the heels. All right? Let's take the hands to the hips, and just kind of like very deliberately sway out your shoulders and the upper back side to side. And just give us a little bit of looseness, and then we're going to twist. All right? Come back to stillness. Right hand to the floor. Left hand to outer right leg. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, twist. Look past your right shoulder behind you. Now, if you don't need your right hand on the floor, you want to take a half bind instead. Right hand can go to your lower back or to your outer left hip or outer left waist. Take it back to center, switch sides, left hand to the floor, right hand to outer left leg, lengthen, and twist. And if you don't need your left hand on the floor, left hand can go to your lower back, either to your lower back or to outer right waist. Square back to center, reach your arms forward, arms are parallel, palms facing, and round the mid and upper back. Now, if you're really good about minute sensitivity, think about now your tailbone tilting down toward the knees, right? So as you tilt down, you want the energy to also point forward toward the knees. Right? It's a very subtle movement and energetic change. All right, lift back up, walk your hands forward, down dog. Inhale, left heel up. Step the left foot forward, warrior one. Right arm reaching up, left hand reaching down, and then side bending to the left. Back to center, left arm up, right hand down, side bend to the right. Take it back to center, arms alongside. So you're in this vertical line, just like when we were seated before, right? You want this lengtheness. Check into that. Be mindful about not rounding the spine at this time, and then lean the torso forward. Now go only as far forward as you can maintain that lengtheness through your spine. So that could be a little bit lower, maybe about halfway, maybe even more if you have more range. It could also mean you're a little bit higher. As long as you're not rounding the spine, that's what we want. Your limit at the point where you are not rounding. As soon as you start to round, then you need to stop. You've gone too far. So you come back up. All right, by now, your left quads are beginning to fire up as well. Take it back up. Warrior one. Open it up, warrior two. Lengthening out the left leg, taking triangle. Tip the right hip back, left hand forward. All right, for those of you, tighter in the hamstring. It will probably be left hand higher up the shin. If you're medium here and you want to go a little bit lower, you have a little bit more range, but not all the way down, then take the hand to the lower part of your shin. And then if you're taking the left hand all the way down, that is your full expression of triangle. Inhale, take it all the way back up, reverse your triangle, and then bend the front knee, hands to the floor. Left foot stepping back plank, And again, lower all the way down to the belly. Come forward to Sphinx again. Grab opposite elbows to measure out your shoulders. Let the forearms come down. Make sure your shoulders line up over your elbows, 90 degrees roughly with your arms. Reach your toes back. Press your belly, your lower ribs toward the floor. Press your forearms to the floor to lift the chest in opposition. Then again, feel for that subtleness of your pubis pressing down, the sacrum pressing down. And with that, lengthen it through your lumbar spine, your lower spine. And it's a very subtle movement. Right? Depending on the tightness of your back, it might feel very sensitive, or it could feel a very nice extreme. Release. A very nice release. Right? So in some of these sensations, it's very subtle, right? So it's not like a big dramatic change, not a big dramatic sensation, but just very subtle. Or it could be very obvious, right? All right, so to come out of the pose, press into your hands and move your elbows out of the way so you can lower your upper back away, upper torso towards the floor. Walk your hands back in and gently, slowly take the seat toward the heels in your child's pose to stretch your lower back in the opposite direction. Take it back up, and again, sitting on your shin. This time, cactus your arms. Palms are facing forward, arms are 90 degrees. Twisting 3 times to the right, twisting 3 times to the left. Inhale here. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Back to center again. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Back to center. Hands forward, down dog. Start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. Bend your knees to come up out of the pose with your hands supporting on the floor. Lift the head and the upper back. Think again, that straighter spine. Shift away back towards your heels. And use the strength of the legs to come up to a standing position. Feet together, knees together. Stepping on the left foot. Pick up the right knee. Let's take tree. So the right foot to the inner left thigh. Try to go above the knee joint. Now, if your hips are tight, going above the knee joints might demand too much out of your hips and you're going to lose your balance, right? If that's the case, go a little bit easier. Go below the knee joint. What you do not want is the foot directly onto the knee joint. You may possibly push your knee joint out of place, right, when you put too much pressure on it. So go above or below the knee joint. Hands together in prayer, arms up and out. Right, so just as a note, for those of you who have tights on or who have long pants on, you might feel kind of slippery, right? Because the heel pressing up against fabric might feel slippery. That's where you have to either pull up your pants, right, and pull the leg up, or you have to really engage. Press your right foot strongly in against the inner left leg back into your right foot. Oppositional force pressing against each other may keep you a little bit more stable, right, and not be slippery on your heel. Gaze is at a fixed point to the floor in front of you. All right, start to release. Come back to center. Draw the right knee forward. Step the right foot down, and walk it out side to side. All right, and that will help you decompress that left leg. All right, let's come back to stillness, standing in Tadasana. Feet together, knees together. stepping on the right foot. Pick up the left knee, open up the knee to the side, right? Assist yourself by grabbing that foot and take it to the inner right leg. Go as high as you can above the knees or below the knees, right? So that all depends on your flexibility. Take the arms up and out in a wide position. So the more you reach out and extend, the stronger your arms, creating tension. And when your arms are strong and you're long in your torso, your right leg is going to want to press strongly down toward the ground to help you stand up taller, right? So that will give you the tension to stand strong and tall. Right? So again, if the foot above the knee is difficult because you have tight hips, go below the knee. And then make sure you press your left foot in towards center, press your right foot in towards center. Use that resistance to stabilize. And start to release, left knee forward, step the left foot down, and then walk it out side to side. All right. Come back to center. Inhale, take the arms up and back for back bend. Exhale, as you come forward, bend at the knees and try to keep the spine straight. Then take the hands to the floor as you then step the right foot back, palms flat, step the left foot back, down dog. Raise your left leg up for pigeon. Left knee in toward the nose. Land the shin to the floor. Again, so you're pointed in your left toes, and you're standing on top of the shin. Left knee angles out to side 30 to 45 degrees. Hands are supporting as you walk your right knee further back, untuck the toes, lift the feet lower. Then walk your hands back even more if you can, and then sitting up tall. This is where you investigate. Are your pelvis level? Or is your pelvis level? And then make your way forward. You can stay in your forearms. You can make pillows with your hands and rest your forehead. Right? If forearms down is still too tight for your hips, you can stay with the arms extended and work here. If you have the benefit of a block or a book or blankets, right, they also work to help support you. Right? If you need elevation, use something, right? You can use books. Now let's start to feel for the subtlety of your pose. Activate your right toes and point the toes back and reach. Use the tractioning of the top of the right foot, particularly through your toes, reaching back to lengthen the right leg. As you lengthen your right leg, if you can crawl your hips back a little bit by drawing your knee further back and using that traction to draw the hips back, and go ahead. Keep working in that direction, back and down with your hips. Right? Keep supporting your arms or your hands. Now feel for that sensation of the openness of the hips through the hips moving back and down. Now you might feel some tension into your knees and your quads and your outer hip on the left side. Right? Most important is your left knee here. If it's not comfortable for you, pull back that deeply and it feels strain on your left knee, then better not to strain the knee just to get the hip opening, right? Right? Because the structure of the knee is a little bit more delicate and sensitive than the structure of your hips. So if your knee is straining, then pull back, right? Don't go so strong on your knee. All right. Walk your hands back in, lift the torso back up. Ground the palms, tuck the back toes, and press into your hands. Lift the left leg off the floor and walk it back. Once you walk it back, maybe the first step is a flexion of the left foot. So press your left heel toward the floor as you pull the heel back and down. And that should be a very nice stretch to the left leg. And then once you get a breath or two with that, then you might feel ready to pedal out the legs. Right, so with the pigeon pose, the left knee bent in the pointed toe position, and if you sit there and put weight on it, right, one, you're going to possibly get a little bit of blood circulation loss, and you can maybe feel a little bit of numbness or something like that, and then when you step out of it, it could feel very strange, right, or that it feels like it's very tight. So the way to exit out of that and get rid of that is to step on that left foot and press your heel toward the floor. And that flexion of the foot, right, would feel really quite nice for the left leg. All right, by now you should be pretty neutral. Second side. Right leg up. Draw the right knee in. So you're in a pointed toe position. Land the top of the shin to the floor. Already, you should be thinking about the right knee, right thigh, angling out to the side. Once you have the shin down, support with your hands. Inch your left knee as far back as you can. Untuck the toes. Walk your hands back. Elongate through the spine. This is what you investigate. Is the pelvis level? Is the spine straight? Once you have that all settled in, feeling pretty even and balanced, then you can take the forearms down and stay there, or make pillows with the hands. Start to settle into your pigeon. Like superficially, most of us are probably going to feel it right away into the outer right hip. And maybe a little bit of sensation in the right knee. Now let's activate. Point the left toes back. Reach back even further with your left toes. You might even press your toes to the floor, lift the knee, and see if you can pull the toes in a little bit to draw the left knee further back. When you draw the left knee further back, you're also drawing your seat further back and down. Right? And then release that and point the left toes again and see how much further you got. Again, make the distinction. If this is really tough for your knee and it's a lot of strain, then better not to overdo the hip opening stretch and stress your knee, right? The knee is a lot more delicate, a lot more complex of a structure. So let's ease out of that strain on the knee and then get the hip opening in another way. Still just letting the hips be heavy. All right. Let's begin to break. Let the hands come back down to the floor. Lift the elbows up. Walk your hands in. Tuck the left toes under. Press into your hands. Lift the right shin and step it back. So the first thing you might want to do, like I'm doing, is press your right heel toward the floor and get that stretch. Right? You might feel the tingling, the numbness. All right, once you get a breath or two in, now you're ready to pedal out the legs a little bit more, get some more circulation back. All righty, start to walk your feet forward toward your hands and take the seat down and extend the legs forward. Take the arms out to either side, sliding the hands out to help assist you to lower onto your back. Keep the left arm out, left knee comes in and twist to the right. So we did this earlier already. Now check into this, right? Does it feel a little bit more open? To go deeper than when you first did it? And take it back to center. Release your left leg out, draw the right knee in, switch legs, switch arms, and twist to the left. All right, take it back to center. Hugging your knees in. And let's take a happy baby. Let the arms to the inner knees to grab the outer feet. Let the feet be flexed and pretty wide, way wider than your hips. Now the heels are pressing up toward the sky with the strength of the legs, and your hands are pulling your feet down. This is a very active happy baby. And for those of you with tight hips, this should feel really nice if you're actually able to grab your feet. Right? Your alternative, if you cannot grab your feet, is grab your ankles, right? Or your shins, whatever you can hold on to. Just want some sort of support so that you can let the legs open in this way and get into the hips with this wide-legged position. All right, start to release. Take the feet to the floor. Gently slide the legs forward. Let the feet separate, toes turn out. Arms alongside the body, palms face up. And let it all go in your Shavasana, final relaxation. Begin to draw the breath back in, moving your fingers and your toes. Reach the arms overhead, stretching in opposite direction. Rolling over to the right side and come up to a comfortable cross-legged position. Reconnecting to an even seat, lengthy spine, shoulders broad, breast deep, and let the neck be free. Inhale for Om. Hands together in prayer, bowing forward, sealing in the practice. Come up. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule, as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. Costs are $10. If you have a difficult time right now, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. Now, if you're thinking about coming to the studio for in-studio practice, please go to the website again, look for the text in pink. Those are the instructions on pre-registration and also on the waiver that you need to download and also e-sign. Once you e-sign, save that document, and then when you send me the email for pre-registration, please reattach that document and send it to me. That needs to go into my file. Okay, and that email for pre-registration also acts as contact tracing, so that if something happens, I have all the information, and I know exactly who's in class. All right, so thank you again for your time. Be well, take care. I will see you soon.